Hello, everybody, and welcome to the third annual Christus All-Star Classic from the Thomas Educational Support Center in Beaumont, Texas. I'm Charlie Jellin alongside Robert Reed. We're here for Sheffield Productions and Golden Triangle Replay, bringing you the final event in the Christus All-Star Classic week. Football, first game of the season.
That's the way to look at it. It's a beginning and an end. It's an end in the sense that the players in this game are recently graduated seniors who were selected by their coaches to play for most of them will be the last time that they strap it on as a high school football player, football period. So it's a fun game, and Charlie, as I was telling you before the game, my own son Kyle played in this game representing Kelly 3 years ago, and he had a blast with these guys and coaches that are on the field right now.
Kicking off, Caden Robertson for Westbrook, the East team in white, the West team in red. Kickoff's taken at the 18-yard line. Number 22, Dion Mays of Anahuac.
Dion Mays returned that kick running left. He took it all the way down to the 30-yard line, knocked out of bounds. And we're going to see who the West in red sends out for a 1st and 10. And Charlie, the West team is coached by Chad Taylor. Chad is the head coach at Liberty High School. And the way that these games normally work out, Charlie, is that the head coach brings his staff along. So basically, this is the Liberty High School coaching staff coaching the West All-Star team today.
A couple of honorary captains for the coin flip. Mark Henry, former Silsbee athlete and a power lifter and a professional wrestler. And Ray Woodard from many places around here. Started off over at Corrigan-Camden High School and then went on to play in the University of Texas and the NFL. Hard running there by the West team. Gets out to make it to the 38-yard line. 8-yard gain there. Hard run by Alex Brown of Liberty.
Right, Alex took that ball to the right side and it brought up, looked like he gained about 8 yards on that play. We're looking at 2nd and 2.
So the Liberty head coach gave it to the Liberty running back. I wonder if that's a trend. And really, from an all-star standpoint, these guys get together just a couple of practices, but other than that, you're pretty much just playing basic football. I mean, look at this double wing formation they're in right here. It's a little bit wide wing T, if you want to think of it that way, and give it to the fullback. He plows up the middle and gets the first down out to the 42-yard line. And
it looks like, Charlie, that starting at quarterback for the West team is number 8, and that is Zach Bronkhorst, and I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing his name correctly. But Zach is from one of the smallest high school football teams in this area. He's from High Island, and I was talking to Coach Taylor before the game. He told me that Zach is going to be playing football for the Angelo State Rams over in San Angelo, Texas.
There you go.
Yes, sir. Heading over to Angelo State in a couple of months. So 1st and 10 here for the West All-Star team. And gave it to Alex Brown again, going around right. Liberty Panther, Alex Brown.
Yeah, very good, a very effective running back there. Brown was able to knock off one runner had hit him, or one tackler hit him low right here. Boom, knocked him down. And powered forward for another 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and short 4 to go. Now, the West is actually ahead. This is the 3rd annual Christus All-Star Classic where they set up an entire week of events. But they've been playing this All-Star football game since 2010. And the West has got a 4-3 lead. They won last year 21-16 in a nail-biter over at Lamar University. First down, pitch went back to number 24, I believe, Caleb Jones.
From Barbers Hill. Caleb Jones takes the pitch going left, and they got another first down.
My mistake, 34, Jalen Steiner from Dayton. See, the back of his jersey, he's got it pulled up a little bit there. I guess it's part of the camouflage that they teach them down at Dayton. You don't want to give them the true number, so we're going to roll up the back of our jersey.
And by the way, I can confirm that I went to a 7-on-7 tournament at Dayton over a week ago. They have some very talented athletes in Dayton, Texas, and no one was wearing a number, Charlie.
They do not want you to know who the Stars are?
No, sir. Dayton Broncos.
Inside handoff. That's an old tackle trap that you remember well, Robert. That's Jalen Steiner. And we're calling out all the skilled members here. It's just like in the NFL. They pay attention to the quarterback, the running backs, and the ends. Those offensive linemen are making some big holes down there.
They are. They're blowing those guys on the East team off the line. And I'm looking at the size on that offensive line. They've got some pretty big kids. I'm seeing another Dayton Bronco down there, number 66, Hunter Crooks. And I know he's definitely a big kid. He's wearing a double XL jersey along with a triple XL T-shirt. So this guy has some size, and he's doing a good job on that line. I see him lining up a tackle right there.
Straight shot to the fullback, handoff number 16. That's Denton Fugier from Anahuac, and he's powering it forward. He's got the first down at the 37-yard line.
That was just straight ahead right there, too, on the replay. That old-fashioned fullback right there. Right up the gut, but it's a first down. Every play so far, running play, nothing fancy, as Charlie said earlier. They're just basically they're just lining up and running with the football and telling the defense, hey, stop me. But the offensive line is doing a good job for them, consistently marching the ball. They started off at the 30, and so far, Charlie, they have picked up about 44 yards since they've had the ball.
Bronkhorst came to the sideline to get the play. Little bit of emotion. There's the toss back to Jalen Steiner. Number 34 gets the first down, gains 12 yards to the 25-yard line. West taking the opening kickoff and rolling forward.
I think that's about the third or fourth time that they've run that play also. So, again, nothing fancy here. He just pitched the ball. He went around left right outside the tackle, and there was a heck of a lane for him to run in there. First and 10 at the 25-yard line for the West All-Star team.
Now, normally when you have an all-star game, of course, the passing is a little bit off because it's hard to get the timing down when you only have a couple of practices. Defense usually has the advantage, but when you're playing smash-mouth football like the West is right now, you almost have to say it goes to that, our first flag on the play.
Flag down on the play.
But you almost have to say the defense has the advantage in most all-star games because the fact that all they have to do is to react to what the offense is doing. The offense has to get the timing down and everything. But the way that offensive line is firing off for the West, they're moving forward.
And it really doesn't matter too much, I think, at this point what the defense does because the offensive line is just firing out and blocking straight ahead. I mean, there's nothing complicated here. And as you mentioned, they basically have, from my experience with one of my sons that's played in this game, basically they practice for 2 weeks, and they usually go to the location of the coach who's coaching that team. And like I said, they practice some basic plays. The goal of the coaches, though, is to involve every single player in the game. Everybody's going to do something. Everybody's going to have their time to get on the field and shine. And so there really is no pre-planning, in terms of strategy. And so, again, the coaches want everybody to get involved. They, your parents are here to see you play in the last game, and your friends are here, and so they just want you to have a chance to get out there and shine a little bit. And it looks like that this offensive line is shining for the West team. And I'm looking at I'm going to be able to call out these kids' names. I've got number 60 down there.
David Holly from Huffman Hargrave.
Yes, David Holly. I got number 87, the tight end, but I don't see his name on the roster.
Oh, that was a quick pitch to Alex Brown. Gets the first down, trying to get inside the 10. He's going to be right at it, and he hit that hole so fast and made a tremendous cutback. It looked like the play was going to the right, but he saw something on the left-hand side and cut it back. Watch this move here.
Yeah, that was a quick hitter.
And there he goes. He's into the secondary quickly. Tackled there by number 42, Alex Reed from Little Cypress, Mauriceville.
Yes. But And it looked like the players were reacting for a while that there was some sort of flag on the play, but there isn't. We've got 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line for the West.
Ball is spotted at the 11-yard line.
Opening drive here in the 3rd annual Christus All-Star football game. Southeast Texas Coaches Association has been putting this on for 8 years now.
Yeah, and headed up our good friend Mark Foreman. We'll talk about Mark a little bit later. He does a great job in this game, along with the rest of the.
Here's the first pass, pressure from the backside. Pass is caught over on the right-hand side, and oh, look at the West defense sniff that one out.
Boy, they reacted very well there. That's definitely the most positive thing that's happened for this defense on this drive, because that was a loss. They lost like 4 yards on that play.
Jalen Steiner from Dayton on the little swing pass reception, and you can see Brockhorst getting rid of it quickly. But the cornerback's right there in his face, and here comes everybody else.
Yeah, that was number 26 on the initial reaction. That's Melvin Benjamin from Westbrook. I see his helmet, and I can tell that those are Westbrook football pants. So, second down here, though, for the West. That's a great
play in the backfield, taken down by
number 44, and that's Teron Brown from West Orange Stark. And I can see Teron's WOS on that helmet. So that kid's got 2 rings.
And let's take a minute and give a shout out to Port Neches Groves for winning the state baseball championship earlier today, 4-2. Robert and I just realized this area has 3 state champions, West Orange Stark repeating as football champions, and then Silsbee winning the basketball championship. So 3 of them right here within a 30-mile area radius from where we're sitting.
That's right.
Congratulations to all of them. You can see why West Orange Stark was such a power in 2016. The chain gang defense went to feast right there. And they may have waited. Let's see. Coach is pointing over to the clock, to the 25-second clock, but delay is called.
Yeah, we're probably going to see that happen a few times again. This just comes from, not being in sync with one another, not practicing, kids coming from different teams. This is typical. And also, by the way, too, I'm looking down at the guys in the striped shirts, and, this is obviously a game they look forward to also, because it gives them a chance to practice before the season gets rolling here in a couple of months.
Well, using your quarterback as the messenger, of course, that's old-style football. Usually you take a wide receiver and let him run in and out. But that's why you're able to wig-wag the signals in from the sideline nowadays. That cuts as much as 10 seconds off of that exchange. Rolling out, he's going to get hit from behind. Yep. Was the ball in motion? No, referee saying his arm was in motion. So it's an incomplete pass.
And that was number 7 coming around that corner. That's a kid we talked about before the game, Charlie. That's Maverick Carante from Vider. Yeah, that's him, number 7. There's the black Vider Pirate helmet. He was coming in a hurry and got Bronkhorst.
Carante was actually the offensive MVP of 22-5A this last year. Carante going in the footsteps of many Carantes coming through Vider. That's a famous name in 22-5A. But what was it, the last game of the season? Port Arthur Memorial went over to Vider, and Vider beat Port Arthur Memorial to get a share of the 22-5A championship.
Threw a monkey wrench in the 5A standings for the end of the week, because you and I did the game when Memorial and P&G played. And Memorial, after the P&G game, I think we pretty much assumed Memorial was going to roll through the rest of that district undefeated, but they had to go into the woods and play Vider High.
And Jeff Matthews, who ended up being the 22-5A Coach of the Year, had a little surprise there for the Titans. And I remember reading what Memorial's coach said at the end. He said, this was a game I was afraid of, because it's not that we were going to be down. It's just that Vider football is excellent excellent football. I mean, they play their style, and they're very good at it. Now, Golden Triangle Replay had this last year when we did our entire season, we got to see a lot of 22-5A football, but keeping up with area football is what's so important, because Southeast Texas Coaches Association brings all of these kids together, and each one of these programs has got something special about it.
They do, and by the way, too, that's a wide scope with the Southeast Texas Coaches Association, because the president is Bobby Locke, and Bobby is over in Baytown at Goose Creek Memorial, and of course he's done an excellent job this week because, again, as you pointed out, let's go to play.
4th down and 18, quarterback is sacked. They sent a blitz in, and 2 linebackers had a meeting at the quarterback. It was a 10-yard, make it a 9-yard loss, and the East comes up and stops the West threat.
And that was West Orange Stark flavor right there. Another big play by Mustang. This time it was number 9, Mandel Turner, that got the sack. And so what looked like they were all the way down to the 11-yard line, driving the ball, and then it just that fast it ended in 4 plays. So now the East takes over 1st and 10. And lining up, we got a quarterback number 3, Brock Barbay from Newton. There's a familiar name.
Oh, look at that run right there. Trying to get that 1st down. I believe that's 29, Joel Denley.
Yes, from Westbrook, from the Bruins. And he's just short. He picked up about 9 on the play.
And they're in the hurry up and wigwagging the signals from the sidelines. This is going to be a quick attack. Barbay hands off again to Denley, and Denley this time is hit in the backfield. A lot of good penetration by the West defensive line that time.
Yes, I'm trying to pick up that number that got him. It was a linebacker on the play, and we may not be able to see a replay because they're going in the hurry up. But it was number 26, I believe, that got him on the play. And that is Cameron Swant from Barbers Hill made that play.
So +9, -8. It's a 3rd down and 9 now. Barbay is the shotgun quarterback. Looks to throw. Got a fly pattern down the middle. Overthrows his man. But there was a safety and a safety coming over, and quarterback running step for step with Earl Payne from Beaumont Central. So it's going to bring up 4th down, and we have our first punting situation with the East having held the West, but misfiring in its first offensive series.
What's interesting on the East team is even though they don't have much time to practice, they're doing what Toby Foreman does wherever he coaches. No huddle, line up, and run it quickly.
There's no rush on the punt.
That's one of the rules here in this game.
Let it go over his head, and that was a mistake. He needs to corral that ball.
Yes, very fortunate play there for the East team. Ball was down by number 5. That's Chris Boudreau from Central High School in Beaumont.
Down to the 12-yard line, so we've had our first series of offensive plays from each team. The West took it. Looked like they were going to take it straight down and score, but the West Orange Stark linebackers on the East side said we have something to say about that.
After I saw what the East is going to do on offense, I'm now really glad I'm here. This game's going to be kind of fun, because I mean, it's interesting. I'm sure Toby only had about 7 practices max with these guys, but he's going to be running his style of football with these players. So now it's going to be fun. And we also, of course, see what the West is going to do as well. And they're going to be lining up. They're going to run the football, and they got to be stopped.
Ron Course, they do the pitch to number 6 again.
Oh, yeah, boy, that is a hard runner right there.
Alex Brown gains 9 yards, make it 8 yards. He fell down just short of the 20. But they're going to mark the ball right there.
Check out this replay, too. Watch him run over a couple of people. Gets by one Mustang. And then runs over number 8. Gets right above at the 21-yard line. Good run by Alex Brown.
3:44 and running in the first quarter here. Charlie Jellin and Robert Reed with you for Sheffield Productions. Working for Golden Triangle Replay today, bringing you the 3rd annual Christus All-Star game. There's a helmet popping off there. You talk about some hard hitting there in the middle. Fullback got the first down, crossing to the 23-yard line.
Yes, he did.
Just a straight dive.
That's number 16 again, and that is Denton Fougier. Is that what, or am I pronouncing that correct? From Anahuac High.
I would go with Fougier.
Yes. Yeah, number 16, Denton Fougier from Anahuac High School picks up the first down. And that offensive line is looking good there for the West All-Stars.
Pitch to Taylor. He found a little bit of a hole, cut it back, only got to the 25-yard line. Or, I'm sorry, Alex Brown.
Right. Good misdirection also, because they had some kids going right, going to the left, but the ball ended up in the hands of the Liberty Panther, Alex Brown. Once again, he's having a pretty good game so far on his carries.
Second down, a short 8. Substitute coming in, Deion Mays from Anahuac coming in. Pitch goes over to Jalen Steiner. Number 34 is taken down in the backfield.
Good reaction there by the East team as well. They had containment on that side. He wasn't able to get outside, and even when he tried to cut it up, and on that play was number 80, Jalen Matthews, another Mustang. Man, the West Orange Stark Mustang players are coming up big for the East on defense so far. But I know that we saw 80 Matthews on that play. And another number 7 was involved there, and that once again is Maverick Carante from the Vider Pirates.
Playing both ways.
Yes. Making plays.
Here's that tackle trap. This one going again to Steiner, but he's not anywhere close to a first down. He does cross the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and they've clogged that left side, so these players for the East are already making adjustments to the running game from the West. But once again, protecting that side of the football field for the East is number 8, Jalen Matthews. That's another play for him outside. So he's doing a good job. He's getting some help there also from number 44, another West Orange Stark Mustang, Teron Brown. So looks like they put the clamp on that side of the field.
82, Jonathan Morales.
Jonathan Morales coming in to do the punt. And again, there is no return, no rush and no return.
But you certainly want to catch it.
If you can.
Yes, sir.
Unless it bounces back the other way, and then you want to stop it. Ball is down by Jalen Steiner, but it's well within West territory. So let's see what the East can come up with. 0-0, 42 seconds left in the first quarter of the third annual Christus All-Star Football Game.
And the East will have the ball at the 40-yard line, 1st and 10. They've already shown us that they're going to be not huddling, running quickly. Just what you probably saw if you watched a few Central High School football games. That's Toby Foreman's style of football.
Brock Barbay still at quarterback in the shotgun. A little bit of a stutter step in the backfield there.
I like that little run.
So this is another Barbay from Newton, right, Charlie?
I believe that there are a bunch of them over there in the fields. Ty Dennis from Kirbyville, honorable mention All-State running back for the Kirbyville team.
Looks like they need to get set. Yep, there we go.
Wide pitch. He's trying to get to the corner, and that's number 12, Deshaun Moreau from Beaumont Central. All-district running back in 22-5A.
Boy, and he had some big shoes to fill, too, because he came in for Devwall Whaley, who's now an Arkansas Razorback. But, you know, they've always had an ample supply of running backs.
Beaumont's got them all over the place.
Yes.
That's the end of the first quarter. It is 0-0. Charlie Jellin and Robert Reed here with you for Sheffield Productions. We're also sponsored today by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 479. Again, Robert, I love saying this. Without IBEW Local 479, everybody would be watching their TVs in the dark. Sounds like one of my old history jokes. Oh, man.
There's some good guys over there, though. I'm fortunate to know a couple of them through the years.
First game of the 2017 football season. That's the way we look at it for Sheffield Productions. We get a chance to get the cameras out of mothballs, or,
right.
You know, and of course Sheffield does a lot of recitals this time of year, and you know, nothing against recitals. Not going to say anything against dance. Went to one last night, but there's something about putting the cameras on a tripod and watching football and doing. You don't do many replays at recitals.
No.
You know, it's.
Hey, and we're in.
Let's see that tumble one more time.
That's right. And we're in Southeast Texas, and I'm sure some folks are going to drive by this beautiful complex right here off of I-10 just when you get into Beaumont, Texas, and see the lights on and wonder what the heck is going on over there. And if it's football, I'm pulling in because, man, I am ready to watch some football. We all are. So this gets the appetite wet for what's coming.
Barbay under center this time. Roll out. Got a guy wide open. Ball is caught by number 80, Jalen Matthews from West Orange Start. Did he get the flag? Referee saying
yes,
touchdown.
Sir. He hit that pylon in the right corner, and that is a touchdown for the East. And it's Barbay, Newton Eagle, over to Matthews from the West Orange Start Mustangs. There's your first score for the evening.
Wow. Beautiful rollout. Watch him. He smells that end zone, gets into it and hits it.
Yes, he did.
Made sure that his foot did not hit the sideline.
We see that silver helmet, and we know, man, that is a Mustang right there. That's an excellent play. Very athletic, and just goes to show you want to get the ball in his hands. Your extra point.
Cole Lindifer from Westbrook, kicking from the hold of Caden Hubbard of Deweyville. Point is good, 7-0. East jumps on top of West, and who would have guessed that the way this game started?
We didn't think that was coming, but I tell you, they had that huge defensive stand when they got down to the 11. And then when they came out, we knew, you know, even though they weren't successful, obviously they've got some firepower on that side of the ball. They've done, and they've shown what they're going to do, just like the West has shown what they're going to do. So East is going to come out, throw the ball, mix it up a little bit. West is going to come out, run it, and just say, hey, you're either going to stop us or you're not. But anyway, fun football game here. East is first on the scoreboard, but I certainly wouldn't be surprised if the West comes right back with a score here to answer that.
Our thanks to the Executive Board of Directors of the Southeast Texas Coaches Association for putting together this third annual Christus All-Star Classic Week. The Executive Director is Dan Hooks, Associate Director Mark Foreman, President Bobby Locke, Vice President T.J. Reed, Treasurer Chris Fontenot, and Secretary is Chris Fudge. They've been doing this now for playing the football game since 2010, but when Christus got involved 3 years ago, they said, let's make it an entire week of events. There have been all-star basketball games, both girls and boys. I believe there was volleyball and softball as well.
Yeah, there's some big names in the coaching area, too, involved with this organization. But I'll tell you, it's really admirable what they do getting this, putting this week together.
Lindifer's kickoff is taken at the 27-yard line, and I believe that's
number 12.
Get the number, well, I don't have a red number 12, so I'll have to.
Are we seeing that right? Is that number 12? Or was.
That's a 13. There
13,
we go.
Okay.
Dwayne Smith from Cleveland.
Your Cleveland Indians, sir. And again, that shows, you know, we're going all the way out to Cleveland. I mean, that just shows how wide this area is with these coaches.
Yeah, we've got
and their association.
Tarkington, Goose Creek Memorial.
Right.
Of course, Dayton and Liberty, West Hardin, High Island, Shepherd.
C.E. King.
C.E. King over
Livingston.
the Houston area.
There's our man from Liberty.
Oh,
he's down. He had that corner turned also.
He sure did. Alex Brown.
Lost his footing on this field turf here at the Thomas Center here in Beaumont Independent School District.
Gain of 3 yards, though. We'll call it second down, a long 7 to go. 11:22, and the clock is running.
And we've still got our man from the High Island Cardinals, if I remember correctly,
yes.
Charlie. High Island Cardinals It's not every year that we get a player from High Island in this game, but this kid's a pretty good football player. And that is, we're going to get these names down. It's number 28 and number 20. Yeah.
Cameron Nicholas Francette from Goose Creek Memorial.
Goose Creek Memorial.
Gained about 4 yards, third down, and 4 yards to go at the 41-yard line of the West. West wearing the red jerseys, East wearing the white jerseys. And of course, everybody has their own helmet on. I like that.
And the last tag was made by Ryan Lalou from your Nederland Bulldogs, Mr. Charlie Jellin.
Yes, sir. Brown with the carry, trying to get the first down. He falls forward. I believe he got it, crossing the 45-yard line.
Alex Brown on the carry.
Tough runner there, Alex Brown. He may rack up 100 yards before it's all over.
Oh, look at that. He's making sure everybody saw. Yes, it's a first down.
Our man, number 21 with the Dallas Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, he's got that feed me in first down stance, but you know what? I'm glad he's having fun.
And that's what the game's about. I mean, it is a collision sport, but you can have a lot of fun out there. I mean, some of these players were all district in their particular areas, but they did not get picked up by a college, or they will be attempting to be a walk-on. This may be sharpening their skills for a tryout later on.
Yeah, that could happen.
Boy, look at those linebackers come all over Cameron Nicholas Francette.
Yeah.
He kept stringing it out, hoping to get her in the corner, and there was no corner to turn.
No, and that was number 9 on that tackle, Mandel Turner from West Orange Stark. He had the containment. Watch this replay right here. Coming around left end. He makes that play. Coming in also on that play is number 7. That's your man right there, Maverick Carante. That's at least the 3rd tackle, possibly the 4th that I've seen Maverick play in this game. He is an athlete out there on the football field.
Bronkhorst hands it to Brown. Brown hurdles the 50-yard line, gets to the 48 of the East. Going to bring up a third down now. 4 yards to go. They need to get to the 44-yard line. Of course, they're in, I would call this two-down territory.
Yes.
You know, it's an all-star game. We don't want you to win by walking in the winning run. We want you to get a hit.
That's right.
Let's make you work for it here.
Yeah. I'm going to be real interested to see what they would do if it came to a 4th down situation. You're right, it's 2-down territory, so maybe we might see them go for it.
Bronkhorst under center, virtually a wishbone in the backfield. Wow.
Yeah, nice play.
Wow. I thought Steiner had a chance there, but you talk about a cornerback coming through like he was shot out of a cannon. Watch this play.
Yes, sir. That's number 1, Bruce Newton from the Silsbee Tigers. He makes a play there. Along with our man from West Orange Stark once again on that play as well, helping out.
Loss of 1, 4th and 5.
Of course, they should go for it.
Bronkhorst stays in there.
Maybe we might see a passing attempt right here. Oops.
Timeout was called by the defense. The East called a timeout. At 7:38 left in the second quarter, East ahead 7-0 in the 3rd annual Christus All-Star football game.
I think what's pretty cool in this game too, at least for us, you know, we always see football from the Golden Triangle area, but I actually enjoy watching these guys from the other end of our Southeast Texas Coaches Association coming over from the west side because, you know, again, as I look at the names, Goose Creek Memorial, Tarkington, Hardin, Jefferson, whom we're pretty well acquainted with, but we've also got Holde Zeta, Dayton, where they've always played great football over at Dayton High School. Liberty, West Hardin. Again, we get the quarterback Bronkhorst over from High Island, but I didn't even mention we got Shepherd here. Cleveland High School. So, you know, we don't see these guys. So a small school like Chester, they've got a kid from Chester here, number 20, Colton Martin. So Tarkington, it's good representation here in this game today.
4th down and 5, Bronkhorst under center. Checking to make sure everybody's set. Referee says yes, play ball. No, that's the other sport. Bronkhorst looked like he was trying to draw him offside, and nobody moved, so they had to call a timeout.
Timeout is called by the
Well, there are actually, when you count them up, Robert, there are 30 associate directors to assist the 6 members on the executive board of directors of the Southeast Texas Coaches Association. That way you can make sure that you cover all of Southeast Texas. And again, this is a tribute to everything that was set up by Dan Hooks, and years ago I believe Richard Marler was also involved in the formation of this as well. But each one of the coaches recognizes the benefit that this type of camaraderie brings, because you know it's like they see in junior football. They're playing against each other one season, then they're teammates the next season, and they're together at a college maybe, you know, playing with each other. And Lamar University recruits very thoroughly throughout this entire area. It's all about sport. It's all about following the rules, showing good team sportsmanship and good teamwork for both sides.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about that we could talk about for a while about this week, that's for sure.
4th down and 5. Bronkhorst tosses it back, and he's going to be held short. I thought he was going to be held short. What happened there? Wow. I tell you what, he put on a show there. Jalen Steiner, number 34, ends up getting this one. And
he got the first down.
We're going to have to look at the replay here.
Right, he kind of looked like he was in the pinball machine on that play for a while.
Now watch 34 come.
Yes.
There he is, cutting up for him. Gets right behind the crowd. He thought
he was never down.
Wow, he never was down. He popped out of a couple of arm tackles, got inside the 40. Finally, Bruce Newton is one who brings him down, but he was following those big linemen.
Yes, he was. And, bringing him down on that play was number 8. I saw Tavian Mayfield from Beaumont Legacy was involved. Ball was on the ground there, and it looks like they called it dead. Got some sort of action on the field. Ball did hit the ground.
Referee is saying there was delay of game against the offense before the snap of the ball.
Typical. You expect that to happen, like I was saying earlier. That's going to happen a few times today.
He says, the referee made that the signal, so they do take him back to the 45-yard line. But that play was kind of had its timing messed up at the very beginning with the drop snap. We're inside 7 minutes now. In the first half, East ahead 7-0. Brown with the ball. He's gotten outside. Look at Brown. Brown drags a tackler with him. It looks like he steps out at the 31-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd down and 1 on a 14-yard gain, overcoming the penalty. He broke containment that time, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And it looked like earlier in the game that they had the containment covered out on that end of the field, but they had the ball on the left side, left hash mark, and he took it wide right, and you could tell from the setup of the play he had a lot of green out there to take advantage of. Kind of surprised he didn't end up with the first down.
Foot was pulled or stepped out of bounds 1 yard short. So they give it to the big fullback, and that's number 16, Denton Pugier from Anahuac.
Yeah, he's been money on those situations. 3rd and 1 up the middle. That's like the 3rd or 4th time that he's had that carry in that type of situation. And like I said, he's been money. I mean, it's been a first down every time. Look at that, coming off the field, big number 79, doing a good job on the line. Terrence Manning, another Dayton Bronco. Love those Indianapolis Colts helmets that they have. Almost said Baltimore Colts, but love those Colts helmets.
Okay, I'm in business.
1st and 10.
1st and 10 for the West. Pitch goes to Deion Mays from Anahuac, and number 22 gets inside the 25-yard line.
Mays on the carry for the West.
Here we go with the replay. Once again, that Canadian Football League style movement, the motion they have in the backfield, number 22 on the play. Look how their offensive linemen for the West, they're down the field, they're moving with the ball. The majority of this game, those guys have done a pretty good job, but we're getting near red zone area. It did not work out for them last time they had it in the red zone. They're getting close. They're at the 23.
Pitch to the left.
Now they're above the 20.
Steiner again with the ball. He gets inside the 20. It's going to be third down and short.
Pitch left. He was in motion. It's knocked forward about 2 or 3 yards by the defender. That was number 76 on the play, Trajan Williams, a Jasper Bulldog. They've got the ball right inside the 20. I'd say mostly the 20, pretty darn close to the 19. 3rd and 2.
Give it to the fullback. Money Man goes forward, gets the first down.
Sure does. First down, so now this is a similar situation that they were in on the first series, Charlie. They had a 1st and 10 at the 11, so pretty similar here. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. They're inside the red zone. Again, nothing as...
Well, that's when the defenders started shooting some linebackers through the gaps. I don't know if they were called stunts or if they were just reading their keys a little more intensely.
22.
He's almost hit in the backfield.
Oh,
there was Deion Mays.
Fumble.
We got beanbags all over the place. Let's see who ended up with. The referee saying the West maintained possession. But that's going to take away what little gain there was. See it on the replay here as Mays gets the handoff and turns it upfield. And they're pulling for the ball right there. Number 80, Jalen Matthews is pulling that ball away while the tackle's being made.
And he's very active because you saw on that play on the replay, he just shot right through. So he came in untouched and immediately was on the running back, the one that was carrying on that play.
350 and counting. Handoff to Brown. He's got a full head of steam. Gets inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Alex Brown has caused some guys to miss tackles in this game. Watch this. He has the ball. Number 9 couldn't get a hold of him. He is a hard runner. Alex Brown is a real hard runner. That's number 7 on the tackle. And again, that's your young man from Vider, Maverick Carante. Had some help as well.
3rd down and 2.
Well, I know what their money play is. I'll be curious to see if they go with it. This situation.
No, they gave the power play to an unbalanced line. Brown gets the first down inside the 5-yard line.
Man, he is a hard runner, Alex Brown. He kind of makes you wonder if he'll go try to walk on somewhere. He gets a full steam ahead when he runs with the football.
Well, that's student body right. I mean, everybody's going over between the guard and the tackle. And, of course, those big guys are making people move as well. They're getting to the second line very quickly.
Yeah, again, you see the young man, number 79 over there from Dayton, Terrence Manning. He just is moving people off the line and running right behind him.
Inside 3 minutes, back to a balanced formation now for the offense. Brockhurst pitches it back to the man who saved the play, Jalen Steiner. Steiner converting that 4th down earlier in this drive, gets down to the 3.
That's right. Dayton Broncos, 34. Jalen Steiner. Good play by him. He got the ball all the way to the 2-yard line. Nice hole. Runs right up his own man, number 72, Quinlan Beck. I sure hope I got your name right, Quinlan. I don't want your mom to get mad at me. Number 72 from Shepherd High School.
Clock is running right at 2:10 now.
Yes, it is. It'd be really sweet for them to get this score before the end of the half, and I'm sure they're going to get something out of this.
Unbalanced line to the right. And
oh, Lord.
Delay of game again.
It's like the 3rd time again. You know, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
And that's very painful here when you've got a 2nd down from the 2, 2.5 or 3, and you're having to bounce it back 5 yards. 2 minutes left in the first half. West trying to tie up the East. He scored on their 2nd possession of the game, a pass from Barbet to Jalen Matthews, a 30-yard touchdown pass.
Right. Now they have the ball at the 7-yard line, 2nd down, 7. 2nd and goal at the 7.
Brown with the ball, cuts it back, puts his head down, twists and gets the 5-yard penalty back.
Yeah, he sure does. He got it right into the 2-yard line. So now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. Here we go.
Brown, everybody was going to the right. Brown saw a crease. He saw a beautiful crease there on the left.
He did, but that was a tricky handoff right there. I mean, I didn't even really see Brockhorst put the ball on Alex Brown.
Brown looked like he was making the cut before he got the ball. He said, I know where I want to go. Just give it to me.
Right.
Oh, he's bouncing outside. You're not going to do that against Steiner. He made something out of nothing. I tell you what, I don't know if the defenders had a stunt to the right-hand side of the offensive left side that time. They came across and cut him off.
Yeah, he basically got the ball back to the line of scrimmage because, yes, they had containment there, but he reverse field. The 25 doesn't make the tackle. So Steiner basically just gets it. Looks like his knee actually went down to 3, but he got marked at the 2-yard line. So
4th down.
Yes.
Goal to go. Inside 30 seconds.
And it looks like Toby is calling timeout. He is.
Timeout on the field, 35.2 seconds left of the first half. We still got another half of football here.
Yes, we do.
Our first Golden Triangle replay game of the season. We've got a full, I say a full season. We've got 6 games set up for next year. And if you're interested in being a sponsor for GT Replay, just go back to the webpage and please contact us. This is the 3rd annual Christus All-Star football game. And, of course, they put on activities this entire week. I mean, they had a volleyball game. Start off actually with a softball game on June the 8th at Lamar Stadium. And then on June the 9th, there was a volleyball game at East Chambers. And then boys basketball and girls basketball all-star game. So it's been an all-star week put on by Christus.
Southeast Texas include his brother Darryl Thompson, the current defensive coordinator from 1963.
Okay, so the players are coming back onto the field. Exciting part of this game, 4th and 2. 4th and 2. We're looking at 35 seconds left in the game. And the West is lined up at the 2-yard line. Brockhorst is under center.
I tell you what, here we go. Power I formation, tickle right. Brockhorst hands it to Brown. Did Brown get in? Touchdown.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Brown scores from 2 yards out.
Give him credit for falling forward, man. That kid is a hard run. Now we got a flag on the play. Flag after the fact, it looks like.
Okay. Take a look as the referees get everything sorted out here.
Yeah, he just leaped right into the end zone there. Excellent play by Alex. Excellent.
Again, I credit the offensive line with that, as we have been mentioning throughout the entire first half for the West, to get that initial push, make the defenders go low, and that gives you your running back an opportunity to do the jump. Let's see what the call is from the referee, the man with the white hat.
Did we see what call he made?
Touchdown is
okay.
And let's see if he's talking anything about the. We had a dead ball personal foul
against the West.
Against the West, and they will assess that.
Touchdown is good by the West. We have a dead ball.
Well, they're having fun, but it did look like to me after they scored that either somebody was pushing afterwards or being a little bit demonstrative. And I know these kids are really excited. They're having fun. I just saw Alex Brown once again doing a little Ezekiel Elliott, or even beyond Ezekiel Elliott out there on the field. But hey, they're supposed to have fun.
15-yard penalty is marked off here, which makes the PAT, the tying PAT, all the harder.
Yep, they're going to earn it, that's for sure, if they get it. And if they don't, they were hurt from that action.
Jonathan Morales from CE King set to make the kick.
And let's see, make sure they're getting lined up correctly or set.
Yep, there's no rush.
82 on for the extra point. And I think he saved
leg.
it.
I tell you what. That would have been good from probably 40 yards out. So Morales ties it up.
Excellent job by Jonathan Morales there. Good thing they got a good leg there.
Well, of course, not being rushed kind of helps a lot too, you know.
It does, but man, he had a strong leg on that play.
Well, Christus Hospital is not only, taking care of the third All-Star Classic week, they're also providing DVDs to each player of this game. So they'll be able to keep this as a keepsake to go back and take a look at in the future. Again, for many of these players, this will be the last football game they participate in. But for others, who knows? They could get. We actually one year had a kid be offered a scholarship by, I think, Ray Woodard of Lamar University, who back when we were playing at Lamar, he was probably sitting up in his office saying, "Hey, I like that guy."
What I like about, and again, I've experienced this week as a parent, and really, this is such a special week for kids. I mean, what Christus does, and the folks at Christus and the guys with the Southeast Texas Coaches Association, they get nothing personally out of this game. This is strictly for kids and for their parents, and a last opportunity to put the pads on and play in a game in a beautiful setting here at the Thomas Center with Beaumont Independent School District. And, Christus just, once again, just going a step further and giving these kids a special gift for both them and their parents, lifetime memento.
Hector Trevino from Goose Creek Memorial kicking off for the West. It's going to drop at the 20 and be picked up there. Whoa, there's a lot of space over here.
Oh, yes, he does. Took that out. That was number 32 returning that kick, Charlie. That's Ty Dennis from Kirbyville.
And he had a head of steam. I tell you, I was worried there for a second from the West standpoint. I thought perhaps they had left a gap in their coverage, but they were able to come in and contain Kirbyville.
And there's a flag down on the field. I'm not sure if that was meant to mark.
Watch the speed. Watch the speed he's got here.
Yes. Brought down there on the play, looks like number 26 on the West, when that is Cameron Swamp from Barbers Hill.
Chop block is called on the receiving team. That's the Christus guys can talk to those people about chop blocks, how it's told. We don't want to see you for something like that,
No, they do not.
Now, at one time that was legal, and a lot of knee injuries were unnecessarily suffered by virtue of the fact of chop blocks on kicks, be it a kickoff, a punt, or whatever. Somebody gets a 40-yard running start and throws themselves at someone else's leg. No.
And that brings the ball all the way back to the 12-yard line, so that was a costly penalty right there.
26 seconds left, though, in the first half. So now, again, what can you say about the East's coach? I mean, he's been known to air it out.
Oh, they're going for six.
And here we go.
Right
Look
here.
at this. He's spread everybody out. Barbay's going into the shotgun. 2 running backs to protect. And no, it was all a fake. They're going to run it.
And that's number 12 going around the right side. Once again, that's our player from Central High School, Deshaun Moreau.
Deshaun Moreau on the carry.
No huddle. One more time.
Barbay throws it and spikes it as the East was out of their timeouts.
15 seconds left, so they're going to be setting up a couple of plays here. They're going to try to score. They got a long ways to go. That'd be 88 yards of field that they covered in a short period of time, but this has happened before with some of the teams that Toby has coached in the past, over at Central High School. He's been real blessed to have some explosive players along with excellent coaching. So,
of course, with all these all-stars out here, all it takes is one missed tackle,
right,
and the running back or the receiver will be long gone. I mean, they all have the speed. That's how they got here.
That's right. That's right. Here we go around. That's the Deshaun Moreau again of Central High School coming around left.
He dodged the tackle, but it slowed him up. He got out to the 47-yard line, and the clock never moved.
No, it didn't, man. What a play.
Wow, the clock never moved.
What a play, what a gift. Yeah, move that clock. There we go.
Barbay spikes it anyway.
I think they're going to correct that, Charlie.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to because
You know, they keep the clock down on the field. Most football fans know that. One referee has the clock in hand.
Chad Taylor turned around and just kind of stared a hole right through the press box. I'm glad we're on the lower level.
Right. Hey, this is football. He wants to win. Anyway, let's see what they do.
Right at 11.7 seconds.
Then maybe again that might be a gift. Who knows? I don't see any indication anything's going to change with that clock. That's pretty interesting. We got a timeout, Charlie.
Okay. So I guess they were saving. Yes, they were saving the timeout for that.
Well,
That's why they were spiking.
we just got to delay a game. It looks like.
Okay. I thought they were calling. It looked like they were calling a timeout or trying to.
I thought they were too, but I just saw the official on the field signal.
And they marked off the delay.
Yes, they did.
Delay a game like this. That'll like make the clock stop or something.
All right, so Barbay's coming under center. He marked off 5 yards, motion to the right.
That is a lateral. He's got a guy open.
Oh,
It's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Jalen Steiner, who was just put into the game.
Tackled.
Steiner runs down to the 28-yard line as time expires in the first half. A little bit of razzle-dazzle attempted by the East on the last play of the game, but Jalen Steiner able to catch the underthrown halfback option to keep the score tied 7-7. At halftime, we're going to have some interviews with some Christus Hospital employees. You can see here on the replay, he had a receiver.
Not a very well thrown pass. Nice idea for sure. But, man, 34 Steiner, that's the second time where I think they thought that they had him tackled, and they did not. Close there on the left where they may have stepped out of bounds or not, but by that time the clock had run out. But nice how all this ended up for the West, because the clock clearly did not run on one play, but it didn't cost him either. Anyway, nice for them to go into the locker room, 7-7, and it was an exciting first half. I really mean that. A very enthusiastic play by both sides. Lots of fun for a spectator being here. I know fun for me and Charlie as broadcasters. So, you know, we're watching football again, but this was actually a lot of fun. And as they get ready for halftime, we've got our honorees down there, Big Mark Henry, and even bigger, Ray Woodard.
Even bigger.
Yeah, so good guys.
I'd like to direct your attention to midfield at this time for the Southeast Texas Coaches Association Players of the Year. In baseball, from Nederland, Chase Kemp. Boys cross country, from Barbers Hill, Josh Fagala. Boys tennis, from Hardin Jefferson, Corey Nobles. Boys soccer from Goose Creek Memorial, David Rodriguez. Volleyball from Barbers Hill, Katie Jones. Softball from Barbers Hill, Megan King. Girls cross country from Hardin Jefferson, Audrey Albanese. Girls soccer from Goose Creek Memorial, Nisa Oliveri. Girls track from Hardin Jefferson, Reagan Taylor.
This is Robert Reed, and I have the pleasure for halftime to interview Dr. Curtis Thorpe with the Christus. Okay, this is Robert.
Trainer of the Year from Deweyville.
This is Robert Reed. I've got the pleasure of interviewing Dr. Curtis Thorpe from Christus Beaumont Bone and Joint. And it's been a great week for you guys. Y'all are always heavily involved with football in Southeast Texas. And this week, you guys are helping another great group of guys that you were just talking about not too much long ago with the Southeast Texas Football or Southeast Texas Coaches Association. If you could, Dr. Thorpe, tell us a little bit about your involvement and the involvement of Christus Beaumont Bone and Joint for this special week.
Well, this has been a great week for these kids, and Christus Sports Medicine and Beaumont Bone and Joint is really excited about supporting this game, supporting these kids, and helping Southeast Texas Coaches Association put on this spectacular showcase for these kids at the end of their high school career, many of which are going to go off and continue their sports career, many who are not. But this everybody ought to come out and watch these games, watch the basketball games, watch the volleyball games, watch the football game and softball, because it's really some spectacular student athletes showing their best with their competitiveness and camaraderie against people they played against for 4 years, and now they're on the same teams together. Right. And it's really interesting to see them on the sideline, how they interact with each other, and the camaraderie they have, because now they've gotten to the end of their career. Some of them have, and they really get along well. They're enjoying the game. They're thankful for being recognized by their coaches and by the Coaches Association. And this is just a fabulous showcase for these kids at the end of their career.
Right. And, my assessment of it is 3 years ago, I was blessed as a parent to be involved in it because my son played in this game in 2014. Right. But the good thing for this week is that it really and truly is about the kids and the parents, because all of these kids are recently graduated from high school. And so most of them, as you mentioned earlier, and Charlie and I have been talking about, this is it for them. But it's so much fun. And then, of course, you guys this year, y'all are leaving them with that final memento, because I believe that you're giving each one of the players and their families a disc of the game for them to take home and just have around as a keepsake. Like I said, for many of them, it may be the last time that they play football. But you had mentioned earlier, which is a point that we've been bringing up, is that it's not just this football game. They played a volleyball game over at East Chambers. They played a basketball game at East Chambers.
Right.
They played a softball game over at Lamar University. So it's so many kids, and I always include their parents, because they're out here right now watching the game. And so, again, I just take my hats off not only to the Southeast Texas Coaches Association, but the support that you guys give them, because really y'all aren't getting anything out of it, but y'all are really and truly doing this for the kids. So big kudos to you guys at Beaumont Bone and Joint for doing what you do this week. Now, I want to ask you something else. During the season, you guys have heavy involvement in this area. I know how big you are with the Beaumont Independent School District, and I know also from personal experience that you guys are involved with a small private school like Kelly High School. But talk a little bit about what goes on with you guys at Christus, Beaumont Bone and Joint during the fall. Let's start off with football. And it's not just football, because I've been by Beaumont Bone and Joint, personal experience with my own children and what has happened to them. You guys not only deal with football players in the fall, but you're also dealing with the girls volleyball players. So if you could go a little bit into what you guys do when the school year gets started in August.
Well, we start the school year about this same time.
Yes.
With the coaches clinics and the trainers clinics. We're very happy to support the athletic trainers who are the steering wheel for taking care of the health of these student athletes at these high school levels. Without a good athletic trainer, these kids are really kind of at risk for injuries. And so we try to support the trainers. We try to encourage the school districts to hire good qualified trainers and put them on the field. Have them in the sidelines. Have them in the court side. You've got to have a good athletic trainer there. So one of the things we do in the fall on Saturday mornings, we have a football clinic, a walk-in football clinic, and take care of the Friday night injuries. That way they can be seen with the athletic trainer, with the parents. They can get a rapid assessment, rapid diagnosis, and get on the rehab schedule so they can continue their careers without any prolonged time off the field, but also be assessed if they're at risk to go back to play. And one of the things that we're very happy to have for the last 3 years is a concussion clinic also on Saturday, because we think concussions are a big factor in long-term injuries from sports. We now have objective ways to diagnose, treat concussions. The biggest important thing with that is being able to recognize when they happen. So we're very happy with our concussion clinic that also runs on Saturday morning. We have a musculoskeletal orthopedic surgeon who's there. We have a fellowship-trained concussion management person who's also there. So we essentially have 2 clinics every Saturday morning during the football season to assess them. So we're very happy to bring that to the community, to bring that to the students, bring that to the parents, and bring that to the school districts, that they can assess these injuries, either they be a sprained finger, a torn-up knee, or a low-grade concussion. They need to be addressed as rapidly as possible and assessed and treated, so for the better of the student-athlete to get back on the field and know whether it's safe for them to get back. So we're very happy with that support with Christus Sports Medicine. They're allowing us to do that.
Now, of course, concussion is a big, I would say the big subject in football these days on every level, going from professional all the way down to little peewee leagues. But as the teams get together and practice in July, we're here in Southeast Texas. Now, the one thing we can't escape is the heat. And unfortunately, we don't have the amenities that the Houston Texans or the Dallas Cowboys have to take it all indoors. Do you have frequent discussions or advice? And I would say, and I want to preface this by saying, I think our trainers overall in the area know what's in the best interest for the players when they're dealing with this heat. But do you guys offer any input or advice on how to help the players deal with the heat as they practice in the first week of August?
Well, heat injuries are an ongoing issue. I mean, there's levels of heat injuries everywhere from just minor dehydration to heat stroke. it's again like concussions. It's important to recognize them when they're occurring so they don't get any worse. So during the trainer clinics that they have in the summer, trainers go and they train year round. They have an athletic trainer in the trainers clinic in the summertime. They have coaches clinics in the summertime, and we're very happy when we are asked to give talks about concussions, heat exhaustion, return to play with different issues. And so I think the coaches these days are much more conscious about heat injuries than they were 30 years ago when they said water weakens you, take a salt tablet and get out there. I think the coaches are much more aware that of the severity of dehydration and heat injuries than they were 30 years ago, and the players are much more conditioned, I think, than they were 20, 30 years ago.
How frequent are your services taken advantage of at this time of the year? Because, it's June 10th, but 7 weeks from now, they're on the field. They're at the very least conditioning. So at this time of the year, is this when you are discussing the heat factor, how to deal with that, and, of course, the inevitable possibility of concussions as they go to full pad practices?
Oh, certainly, I think any good athlete at any level is going to stay conditioned year-round. We already know
these days, yes.
If you slack off for 2 months and then try to come back, you're going to have an injury. I mean, that's when we see bad knee injuries and shoulder injuries in football and even baseball. So the pre-participation conditioning is very important. And also, especially this time of the year in this part of the world, you have to be aware of temperatures. So you compensate with that by practicing in the cool part of the day. Don't wear full pads during the summertime. You have abundance of water, recognizing a heat injury, and so you can pull that player aside, hydrate them up, get them in the cool them down, and if necessary, get them rapid treatment in a hospital to treat that heat injury. So with the advanced training from our athletic trainers now, they train year-round, and during the summer they train as much as they train during the school year. They practice just like these players practice. They get their drills down. They have their immediate action drills, or what you do for a neck injury. They make sure they have the right equipment, and it's very important that the schools support them and give them the right equipment to take care of the players if there's an injury, because there is absolutely nothing more important than the health of the athletes.
Right. Now, what I want to discuss with you right now is that I have 3 kids that have taken advantage of the services that are offered at Beaumont Bone and Joint. Luckily, my youngest is with yours, and she's a cheerleader. And so far, we haven't had to go there, but we won't talk about cheerleader injuries either.
Cheerleaders have injuries, too.
They sure do. But talk a little bit about the services, and I know how comprehensive they are, but kind of skim the surface of the services that are offered at Beaumont Bone and Joint.
Well, Beaumont Bone and Joint is really a multi-specialty musculoskeletal clinic. We have orthopedic surgeons, we have athletic trainers, we have physical therapists, we have people who are especially trained in concussion management. They can make orthotics, and we have a full service there that if an athlete comes to see us, even on a Saturday morning after hours, we're able to evaluate them with x-rays, get same-day MRI scan if needed, get them on the road to treatment, and get them rapidly diagnosed. And so it takes a team effort, just like a football team. You have different skills at different levels, and we're very happy to say we have a full complement of qualified people here that we can take care of athletes at all levels.
And a lot of your services, and forgive me for being redundant, but a lot of the services that you guys offer are right there at your facility on Laurel, correct?
Right. We try to be a one-stop shop and get X-rays, MRI scans, casting, surgery if needed, because we have a full-service surgical hospital right there at our facility.
And another area that I wanted to cover with you as well. Now, again, you had mentioned earlier how involved you guys are with the development of trainers and the help that you give them in the area. But the profession of an athletic trainer, is that a large need for, say, any young student trainer that we have at our schools to look into as far as being a profession in the future? Where do you see that field going as we move forward?
In the state of Texas, an athletic trainer is a licensed health care provider. They're licensed by their own separate board, but they act to take care of the health of an individual just almost at the same level as an EMT. So they are trained. They're college trained. They have degrees. They're licensed by both state and national levels. And a certified athletic trainer has to maintain his certification with advanced training and at medical education. They call CEUs that they have to do so many a year and keep up on things just like physicians do. So we're very. I'm very happy to work with some of the greatest individual athletic trainers in this area. And Southeast Texas is, from Bobby Gunn down, has had athletic trainers that have gone on to be professional athletic trainers in the country. So we have some great athletic trainers in this.
Now, also, anything else, Dr. Thorpe, that you would like to make our viewers aware of from your profession or with Christus Beaumont Bone and Joint, or even this great week that we've had?
Oh, this is a great week. This is I'm very happy to be here. This is sort of my training for the football season, which doesn't start again for a couple of months, but it'll be a short time before Lamar starts practicing again, before all the high school starts practicing again. And this is I get to practice some of my sideline skills here also.
Well, I know I'm being redundant, but this is a beginning and an ending. It's an ending for these young kids and kind of closing a chapter with the parents. But it gets our appetite wet for football. I know what a big football fan you are in general, but I also know what a fantastic supporter you are for schools, for trainers, and for kids. And I just want to let you know again, a big kudos to you guys with Christus Beaumont Bone and Joint, and always a big thanks to you, Dr. Curtis Thorpe. Thanks for spending time with us.
And thanks to Southeast Texas Coaches Association.
Absolutely.
They're a great organization.
Yes, sir.
Fabulous organization.
Thank you, Dr. Thorpe.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
I got all that, Mike. Okay. I got all that. I knew that was going to happen. Okay. You be in the backseat freaking director. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and I got to line this camera back. One.
It seems long-winded.
Okay. Somehow we got to line these babies back up.
You got about 8 minutes to do it.
I'm just going to mess with the other one. Okay, make it look up. I should have had some cartoons or something. Okay? Should have had a cartoon or something playing.
The officials for the second half this evening will be Chad Cooper, referee, Bernard Whitaker, line judge, Jesse Green, umpire, Stephen Parker, back judge, and Freddie Champagne, head line judge.
He's putting it on. He's talking. How are you talking about? All right. I found out about 2 hours before I left the house. He was in Houston because the whole deal about it was, Lisa's going to movies. I said, "You gonna call Ann?"
Okay, this is Charlie. Talk to me.
And that's it. Okay, we have a slight problem.
The raffle for the West has not been picked up yet, so please check your tickets again. The number for the West is 4474336. Again, that number, 4474336. Please pick up your prize at the field house.
Halftime is over. The East is on the sideline. The West is moving there. And Robert Reed, I'm Charlie Jeldon here for Sheffield Productions. We are live streaming this over gtreplay.com. And, of course, the players get a free copy of the DVD of the entire game, courtesy of Christus. And, again, that's a nice touch for Christus All-Star Weekend to say, hey, you went out there and you sweated, you might have spilled a little blood, hopefully nothing else got hurt, but here's your DVD, man. Remember this in the future.
Yeah, I think what's really special about this week is that it's all about the players. Nobody's gaining anything. This is a gift to these guys that are, like I've said before, they're graduating seniors. For the vast majority of them, it's their last time on the field, and just everything that the Coaches Association has given to this week, not only for this game, but the softball game, the volleyball game, and the basketball game. And then the icing on the cake is that gift from the special guys at Christus, Beaumont, Bone and Joint, with the disc of the game given to the players and their families. It was really a special week, Charlie.
So we're about to get the second half going. Some of these kids are going to be walk-ons here, and I guess they're getting their skills ready. Jonathan Morales from C.E. King, who had to kick about a 30-yard PAT to tie it up just a few minutes ago. He does the kickoff, got a short angled kick, taken at the 24-yard line. And, if he hadn't have tripped, Bruce Newton from Silsbee would have been off to the races.
You can
wow.
Unfortunately, that tackle was made by the East. Unfortunately, number 23, Chris McGee from Orangefield, got in the way of the player who caught that pooch kick, because you just saw it. I mean, unfortunately, he brought him down. And that was number 1, Bruce Newton. I tell you, if that doesn't happen, Charlie, I think Bruce Newton scores.
And that's happened, in the NFL several years ago. Someone attempted an onside kick. It popped up into the air, and the defender caught it at the full run. Once he got past that first line, he was racing a referee to the end zone. There was nobody else there.
Absolutely, I remember that. That's Barbay under center. Hands off to our running back from Westbrook High School. That's number 29, Joel Denley, on the carry around left end. Charlie, you may notice the teams have switched sidelines. The visitors stands on here at the Butch, and there's a replay, by the way. Joel Denley, good pickup around left end. Those stands are not being used, so all the fans are here on the home side, and I guess they just switched sides for the parents to see their kids.
That's the great way to do it. Quick handoff to Deshaun Moreau. He gets around the right end, cuts back, gets the first down, dragging the pile. to the 30-yard line goes Moreau.
That was some kind of lane that Moreau had to run around the right side. So those are similar plays, going left and going right, and big pickups both times. So they're on the right hash mark now. So, Charlie, you're probably going to see something happen over here at the left side just because they have so much room. So let's see if the West does a better job of containment here. Yes, here they come, left side. Joel Denley on the carry.
Barbay pitches it. Denley gets inside the 30, gets to the 26, make it the 27, gain of 4 yards.
A little bit better job of containment there, even though you hate to give up 4, but that was a little bit better job of stringing it out and making the play happen. Pickup of about 5 right there.
Ball spotted at the 27-yard.
Ty Dennis goes to the pistol back formation, and he gets the pitch. Fullback went to a great fake there. Got me. Brock Barbay's got the ball, and look at the Barbay run. First down for the East.
Nice.
I thought he pitched it.
I did too, man. And the running back did a great job of carrying out that fake, by the way. He deserves credit. Look here on the replay. Barbay's got the ball, and I like how he cut up right there instead of continuing to go wide. Takes it back toward the middle of the field. That's at least 2 missed tackles, 2.5 missed tackles. Let's call it that. He's in the middle of the field. Got the ball at the 12-yard line, going around right with
pitch to Moreau, number 12.
Our friend from Central High School here in Beaumont.
Number 12 starts at the 12, gets tackled. Looks like
he picked up about 3 or 4 yards. No. I'm sorry. I'm wrong.
Well, they strung him out. It's short game, maybe a yard, but not much.
No, sir. Not much at all. Again, they're doing a little bit better job of containment.
Both teams giving up a lot of yardage between the 20s. And inside the 20, everything gets straight. Cross handout. Hit in the backfield, but he's going to go in and
left,
score.
He's going to score.
Wow. Great run there. My number 32, Ty Dennis from Kirbyville. Honorable mention All-State for the Wildcat. And he scores from 12 yards out around left end.
Yeah, and that's where he had the open side of the field also, because it was there on the right hash mark. So they took advantage. That's what they've done on most of the plays. They take advantage of the wide side of the field, and missed tackle right there. Another missed tackle. And then arm tackling that did not work. So he went by 3 people on that play. Excellent job by the Kirbyville Tiger, if I'm correct, Charlie.
Wildcats.
Silsby
Tigers. Silsby Tigers.
Kirbyville Wildcats. Go Kirbyville.
They're going for 2.
Left side. That's Doug.
Walks in. Joel Denley.
Joel Denley from Westbrook High School on the 2-point conversion.
So that raises the score to East 15, West 7, 9:29 left. Working out of the power I, unbalanced to the left-hand side. And they just put more offenders on the side that the defenders couldn't handle.
Good job by the offensive line. I saw number 74 there leading the charge. Dakota Ard, another Silsby Tiger, down there on the field. So they made it happen.
East took the kickoff and almost scored on the kickoff return. And then just started running, and it was wide left, wide right, wide left. Faked the pitch. Quarterback kept it. Finally, a 12-yard run from Ty Dennis.
We had no pass on that drive, did we?
The East scored in the first quarter. A 30-yard touchdown pass from Brock Barbay to Jalen Matthews. So they've gone by air. They've gone by land. Is there any sea? I guess there is a pool over there in the Thomas Educational Support Center.
A beautiful natatorium. Best in the area.
Kicking off for the East, Cole Lindifer from Westbrook. 15-7 the score. Short angled kick. It's going to land out of bounds. Flag is thrown right there at the 25-yard line. So many teams nowadays in high school have gone to that angled kick to reduce any chance of a long run back.
Yes, and not to mention also possibly doing it to reduce any chances of injuries, because it's always a huge collision on the kickoff teams. But it's part of the strategy nowadays in football on every level.
They keep it at the 30-yard line, and so the West comes out now.
Let's see what they're going to do. They've mostly been running the ball the entire game, and I don't expect him to get away from that. That was an excellent drive that they had at the end of the first half to tie the game. And so
new quarterback Mason Pitts from Goose Creek Memorial.
But not a new running back. That looks like our man, number 6 from Liberty.
Number 6,
Alex Brown.
On the carry.
He had a great first half. 16 down with the injury, Charlie. That's our fullback. Number 16, Denton Fougier from Anahuac.
He's being assisted off by the trainers.
Let's hope that's not too serious.
Both legs are moving, but he's favoring one of them right now. Could just be a twisted ankle.
He's had a good game so far.
I tell you what, he's been money on those short yardage plays.
Your man on 3rd and 2, that's for sure. Good night by him and Alex Brown. And as well, number 34 has been productive, Jalen Steiner from Dayton. And that's who's got the ball right now around left end.
Pitts pitches to Steiner, who's hit right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, as the East linebacker stepped up to fill the hole.
Yes. And a couple of West Orange Stark Mustangs have had a real good game so far. And number 9 was there first, and then 48. And those are 2 West Orange Mustangs, Mandel Turner, and number 48 is Jalen Powdrill. Mustangs making the stop.
2-time defending state champion West Orange Stark Mustangs.
Right, and along with number 80, Jalen Matthews. Those 3 Mustangs have had an impact this evening.
Brown looking for some room, gets across the 35 to about the 38. He's going to be a yard and a half short of the first down. Clock's at 8 minutes and running. 15-7 to score, East over the West in the 3rd annual Classic All-Star game.
Yeah, it's been. I've enjoyed this game, and hopefully we continue to have a good game the whole way through with a competitive second half here. We've got 4th down for the West.
And they're going for it. Quarterback sneak from number 8, Zach Bronkhurst from High Island. Came back in as quarterback, and it all depends on where the mark is. The East team thinks they held him short. It all depends on the spot, and the referee says first down.
Yeah, he was signaling first down pretty much after the play.
He knew he had to get to the 40-yard line. First down and 10, and Brockhorst stays in as quarterback for the West.
Back in there. He did a good job of running that offense in the first half. I mean, it was mostly handoffs, but
pitch goes to number 34. Steiner does not go anywhere. Taken down in the backfield.
Looks like got lost about 3 or 4 yards on that play. Penetration quickly there on the right end, and that looks like a Westbrook Bruin, number 26. Belvin Benjamin from the Bruins made that play. Good play.
Benjamin knows this field well, having played his home games here for Brook. This stadium shared by Beaumont Central, Ozan, and Westbrook. Occasionally Thursday and Saturday games the same week.
That's right. Sees a lot of action, and they do a good job of taking care of this facility.
Inside handoff goes to number 34, Steiner. Steiner gains a few yards, gets back what was lost. It's basically 3rd down and 10 now.
Right, Steiner and Alex Brown have seen a lot of action tonight. And I was talking about Brockhorst, the quarterback, earlier. He's done where I think he's done a good job, even though it's mostly been handoff, is that this offense centers around misdirection and carrying out fakes, and that's where he's been so effective at, I guess, running an offense that Coach Chad Taylor runs at Liberty High School.
That was almost a wraparound going to Taylor. He's off to the races. Excuse me, I keep calling him Taylor. Alex Brown. Brown, excellent run inside the 30-yard line, gets to the 27-yard line. Young man's a little slow getting up, but he hit that hole at extreme speed.
And he sure did. And again, I know we're going to see the replay here, but even just the way that they carried that play out from the beginning, from the line of scrimmage, that was pretty effective.
Watch him cut back right there. He went up and then outside.
Well, you know, you expect him to go around, but he got the ball and went inside right off the bat and then bounced it out.
Here's the tackle trap again to Steiner.
Good thing that they made the stop there, even though he had a good game, because it looks like if he gets by just one tackler, he's off to the races.
The West.
This is a tricky offense that they're running here.
You have to tackle everybody twice.
Yes, you do.
Is what you have to do with the T offense, because you really don't know who's got the ball. If they're good at carrying out their fakes and leaning over to cover up the ball.
It's impressive what they're doing, though, because this type of offense, even though it's just running the ball, it takes a lot of practice because, again, it's misdirection and it's confusing for the defense, like you said, in terms of who has the ball.
Linemen have to, fumble, taken in the air, and he is gone.
That's a Mustang. That's Teron Brown.
Teron Brown scores.
West Orange Star.
Wow. 73-yard fumble recovery. Wow.
He had the penetration, ball bounced in his hands, and there was no stopping him. He's a good athlete. He looks like he could walk on somewhere and continue to play football.
Pitch was just off the shoulder of the intended running back.
It was a gift, but he took it. 73 yards.
21-7 now, East over the West. East taking advantage of the defensive gift given to them. When the ball just bounced right up into his hands, he had no chance, no place to go except to run with it.
So the officials are talking to Coach Foreman.
There may not be a fumble return policy in an all-star game. Again, minimizing the chance of injury, just like there is no kicking game or anything like that. Or at least there's no punt game. There is a kickoff. Let's see what the referee has to say. Touchdown counts. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the East team. That's so again, we'll mark off the penalty, I believe, here on the point after attempt.
So we're having more fun, right?
Yeah, they forgot to stop when the whistle blew, and of course the West had that happen to them as well.
Yes, they did. That's what I'm saying. We're having more fun here. That's okay, and I sincerely mean that. That's okay.
They haven't marked the penalty off yet.
No, they have not. Does that is that enforced on the kickoff?
I wonder if it's the option. We will find out in a moment. Bo Lindefer ready to try the point after. Off the tee, just like youth football, and he makes it. 22-17, or 22-7 the score now.
4:21 left to go.
Well, this game is ticking by so quickly that I think it would be correct to say that the West needs to come out and score right here.
Well, I tell you,
the game is going by quickly.
Yeah, and with the rushing attack that both teams have been featuring, you're going to get a lot of that. 3 yards in a cloud of, we used to say dirt. I guess we'd say green dust nowadays, because that's what they put down a lot of times to absorb the shock on these artificial.
You can say 3 yards in a cloud of rubber because it's
cloud
pellets.
of rubber or pollen if it's a spring football.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True.
Did you paint your car? No, the pollen's out there. Again, we thank Christus for putting on the 3rd annual All-Star Week. Games earlier this week of softball, volleyball, girls and boys basketball All-Star games going on. Culmination of a lot of careers this week. A bunch of newly graduated seniors getting one last chance to put on the school colors, play for their teams.
And then the fun begins next month. So
yes. But, you know, from a coaching standpoint, the opportunity to coach an all-star team, it's a tremendous challenge. It's an amount of fun. You know, because you think about it, you spend all season preparing a defense to stop the star on the other team. And then at an all-star, you turn around and he's on your team. You get to use all the things you were scared of to go make other people scared.
I was talking to Chad Taylor before the game, and he's the coach for the West and the head coach over at Liberty. And he told me he's had a lot of fun working with these kids, meeting new kids, some of them that he's coached against, some of them that he's never met before. But he just told me, you know, for 2 weeks just how special it is, you know, because, again, he realizes that most of these kids are entering the quote-unquote real world in the month of August when they start their adult lives, beginning either as a student or working, and just how special it is to be around them right now.
With the penalty, Lindefer is kicking off from his own 25. Ball's caught at the 29-yard line. Oh, and he tried to go backwards there and lost his footing.
The turf monster got him. Came right out of the field, pulled him down.
Jalen Steiner, it honestly looks like somebody tackled him and pulled him backward.
Yeah,
Watch
that's
Steiner.
turf monster.
Yep, right
that's
there.
Turf monster. He grabbed his ankle and just pulled him up, and he's down. That's what I've heard back in the day when they actually played on carpet, Charlie. You remember those days in the 70s and 80s.
Well, they're bringing it back. They're saying the kicking team was offside, so they're going to make them re-kick it from the 20. So Steiner's going to get another chance. But, yes, playing on carpet like in the Astrodome back in the old days, that was carpet that was simply stretched on top of asphalt. It was as hard as a rock.
Right. And anybody who's a Houston Oilers fan remembers what a beating Earl Campbell took on that back in the day. And, you know, if they would have had this field turf's a little bit, it's a lot different than AstroTurf.
And, you know, when you talk to the Christmas doctors at halftime and other times like that, this type of field was designed after years and years of studying because carpet sounds like a good thing to put on a field. It's low maintenance, and, you know, landing on carpet's got to be easier than landing on dirt. No, it's not, because it depends on what's underneath it.
Right. Kicking from the 20. Oh, my.
Taken in the air at the 50-yard line. Dion Mays, number 22, makes a lot of hay out of that. Gets it to the 32-yard line of the East. So the West starts off 32 yards from pay dirt. Great catch in the air.
Caught it at midfield at the 50, as you can see here on the replay. And he does a good job with the return. I mean, this is a 18-yard kickoff return. The West should be able to make something work out of this, and they need to.
Kicked off from the 20, returned it to the 32. Net 12-yard kickoff.
Well, 4 minutes, 9 seconds left. That's plenty of time for them to put the ball in the end zone. And like I said, they need to do that. They're down by 1 touchdown entering the fourth quarter, and they can hold the East, and they could be right back into the game. That's our man, Alex Brown from Liberty.
What I liked about that particular play, when Brown realized he was about to get tackled, he leaped forward and got another 2 yards. Now he's still on the ground right now. He might have taken a shot on his hip.
He's shifty.
Timeout is called, though, as Brown is slow getting up.
And I hope he's up now.
He's been the workhorse of the West running team.
Right, I'd be curious to see what his stats are. Gained quite a few yards so far this evening.
3:54 left in the third quarter. Again, one of the many things that Christus has set up for this All-Star Classic is they're giving a DVD of the game to each player. And so, obviously, the players. I don't know. I guess they could be watching the live stream on the sideline. You know, like up there in Cowboy Stadium, the players will watch themselves on the Jumbotron. And there's even a report that one time a guy was watching the end zone camera while he was running into the end zone to see who was behind him and how close they were. But it's nice having the DVD as a keepsake of this last game right here.
Sure is.
And it's good also to see Denton Fugere from Anahuac back in at fullback. He pushes it forward and gets very close to the first down.
Well, they're going to get a little help because it looks like number 48 of West Orange is going to get called for sportsmanlike conduct.
Yellow flag there on the 23.5-yard line.
Right.
You can see Fugere's running kind of straight up this time, and he's still making those legs move.
But look here, you got Powdrill. He's going to get caught for the retaliation. You know, and when they get called for this in football, it's always a retaliation that they catch. I don't know if they guess they called it today. Yeah, they did call it. They
Dead
got
ball
it.
Foul, personal foul.
Yes.
So half the distance from where they were, it's going to be first down and 10 inside the 11-yard line.
Always the retaliation. Guy, the lineman from the West.
Well, that's what you tell your coach, Robert.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I remember the day, sir.
Well, Coach Foreman, I see him down on the sidelines. He's not too happy. You know, football's so great. You always want to win. That competitive fire always burns, even in what is a general friendly condition right here with the two all-star teams. But they got a fire burning.
Bronkhorst, another bad lateral. It's going to be picked up this time by number 3.
He's gone. That's number
2. I'm sorry. Martin Brown from Westbrook. A second fumble return.
Same situation. The toss was behind the running back, just like it hit the outside shoulder behind on the previous touchdown that the East scored.
89-yard fumble return.
Unfortunate for the West. Very unfortunate.
And you can see that from the start right there, Brown had it in his mind, I'm going to get that ball.
Right. And he's gone. And you could see it easily, once he picked that ball up. He was down on the ground, got back on his feet, picked the ball up. Obviously, very fast young man. He's gone.
28-6, East over the West. The East has broken it open here in the second half.
Yes, they have. And in a game like this, again, where, the other team is still dependent upon the run and really hasn't shown themselves to effectively pass the ball, this is a lot of ground to make up.
Ty Dennis, a 12-yard touchdown run to start the East scoring in the third quarter. And then after that, a couple of fumble returns from long distance. Teron Brown, 73 yards, and you just saw Martin Brown from 89 yards.
Have your attention, folks. We just been informed that the concession stand has been going down on their cooked food to half price. Go get you some.
Well,
wow. And again, that really kind of would demoralize the West from a standpoint to be down there so close 2 times, literally be knocking on the door, and to have that taken away from you.
Right, and there's 2 scores here by the East, and they haven't even been on the offensive end of it. They did come out first score at the beginning of the second half and
going for
have
2.
A touchdown.
Going for 2. Barbay.
He's open.
He faked the high pitch and ends up throwing it to number 88.
80
over there. Jalen Matthews, who gets a point after reception to go along with a 30-yard touchdown pass earlier.
Good guy. I like that play, too.
Well, the neat thing about that is that they faked the pitch, and the running back running to his left reached up like the ball was over his head, and that's going to freeze everybody in the secondary. Right. And then Barbay takes it on a naked bootleg to the right and catches Williams by himself Matthews by himself in the back of the end zone.
And Barbay's got a pretty good arm, too. Well thrown ball there.
Wonder if, the Cowboys were watching this. They could probably use that play in the NFL. Although quarterbacks and naked bootlegs do not always go together. You can refer Tony Romo right there.
Right.
At least one of his back crunches happened on one of those.
And, no matter how athletic they are when they're in college football, that just all ends when it gets to the NFL simply because you've got linebackers in the NFL that run like they're free safety. Just the whole different style of play that you have to conform to when you get to the NFL level.
4 touchdowns by the East. Lindefer has kicked a couple of point-after attempts. They've run in 1 and they have thrown for 1. That's the difference here. 30-7 now. 3:15 left in the third quarter.
Well, let's hope that at least for the sake of the West, that they get a good return and they're able to score in a short period of time to try to start working their way toward getting back into this game.
Alex Brown with the ball. It's across the 35 to the 37-yard line.
These kids on the East are having a lot of fun.
And again, when you look at Alex Brown and his running ability, if he hasn't been looked at closely by a college, they really need to.
He is a tough runner. He's slashing style. What impresses me about him is that he, at least every time I've seen him run with the football in this game, he falls forward.
Yes.
And that's huge, because especially, when you're going for first down. So, slashing style runner, looks like he's got a career with some small college in the area. His hard style of running. Oh, man.
Pitts tried to roll out to his left. Mason Pitts in at quarterback from Goose Creek Memorial. He's tackled for a 4-yard loss.
Yeah, that was impressive penetration right there. Saw number 29 getting through. I guess that's Joel Denley over there, is playing defense also.
At the 31-yard line, brings up a 2nd down and 19.
Look like it. Westbrook High School. Got number 8, Tavian Mayfield from Legacy in the defensive backfield.
Pitch goes back to Steiner. Number 34 cuts it forward, cuts that distance in half.
He's had his hands on the ball quite a bit this evening, too, between him and Alex Brown. They've been the workhorses for the West offense.
Steiner, go ahead.
Yeah, both of them are impressive running backs, too. The difference in this game is a difference in every game on any level, and that's turnovers. 2 turnovers have changed, that were returned for touchdowns, have changed the course of this game quickly. There's Alex Brown going around right in.
That time he ran square into one of the flags thrown on the play at the very end.
Yeah, we have more extracurricular activity.
Bring up a 4th down, but wait a minute, we have a flag on the play.
That's going to go against the West. Probably be able to see it on this replay. It didn't come up, but that's going to go against the West, and that'll be 15 yards going against them, which is not good. Especially with 1:45 left, that makes it even more difficult to try to make some sort of headway before the end of the quarter.
Dead ball foul is called. Personal foul called against the West. That'll take him back 15.
The West going to back him up 15 yards.
Now at the 22-yard line.
Well, it's after the play. The big thing there, it's after the play.
Absolutely. And it's 4th down, Charlie.
Yeah, and this reminds me of my high school playing career. It's 4th down and about a quarter mile. We had a very good punter.
That's helpful in those situations.
Oh, yes. Of course, in the All-Star game, it's just a matter of catching the ball in the air. And he catches him at the 49. Good high punt there. caught in the air by Bruce Newton of Silsbee. Silsbee Tigers, the state champions in basketball. And again, kudos to Port Neches Groves for winning the baseball championship today, beating Grapeland by a score of 4-2. That baseball team had a lot of fun this year. It seems like during the first early rounds of the playoffs, they would lose the first one just to make it interesting, and so that they had to go right back and win 2 in a row. But whenever it counted, whenever it got down to the last few rounds, they would get ahead in the series and just win both of them out. And what was not characteristic of the state championship game, Grapeland was the defending state champions in baseball, and they gave up 4. They had 4 errors in the championship game.
Wow, I did not realize that.
Hard pass from Barbay in the direction of Chris Boudreau from Beaumont Central. They were trying to get it out quickly. One of the speedsters on the corner, and the ball is incomplete.
Chris Boudreau played quarterback for Central this year, so to see him split out, I know that I'm not sure whether Chris is moving on to play college football or not, but he's a heck of an athlete.
Trips to the left here for the East. Barbay hands it off. Great tackle in the backfield there.
Yeah, that was looks like that's number 6. Is that Alex Brown out there on defense also? That is him.
He got a chance to do a little damage.
Yeah.
Tackle though is made by number.
It was made by number 51 on the West. He had excellent penetration.
Bobby Burke from Shepherd.
Yes, good play by Bobby Burke. And they're going to need that again. And as you see, Charlie, looking at that clock, 50 seconds.
3rd down, 14 to go. The West needs a stop here. East has a spread offense. Low snap. Picked up by Barbay. Got a guy short. Good short throw to Deshaun Moreau. He goes out of bounds just short of a first down.
The new quarterback, Brock Barbay, he's done a pretty good job during this. Got good touch on the ball. I like the routes that Coach Foreman's calling, especially to these really strong athletes that are out on the field. We were talking about guys that could go to the other level. Deshaun Moreau from Central. I will be surprised he's not playing football for somebody in a couple of months.
4th down and 2 yards. They need to get to the 41 to maintain possession. Unbalanced line, power to the left. Here it comes. First down for the East. They get inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Toss goes to 29, Joel Denley.
Had a few carries today. Done a good job. Something we were talking about earlier were some of the players that will go on to the next level. And Charlie, there are probably some guys that are moving on to junior colleges or small schools in the state of Texas. We don't even know who they are. Point being is that we've got a lot of talent out here on this football field, even with the guys that decide not to play any longer. Both sides have a wealth of talent.
Barbay tries that inside handoff. And again, a great play there made by Bobby Burke, who blew up the play in the backfield.
Right, he's pretty active. 51 from Shepherd, I believe, right? Bobby Burke. Yeah.
And that's 2 offensive plays. He is stuffed. Watch him come right in there, dodge the blocker. He didn't make the tackle, but he stopped the running back in his tracks. That was DeCorian Holmes from Jasper. Holmes was the 8-4A offensive most valuable player this year as Jasper had a fine run. That's the end of the 3rd quarter, 30-7. East blows it open here. West is trying to get a defensive stop.
And they need to have that defensive stop. And then after they get that defensive stop, they need a touchdown quickly.
Charlie Jellin and Robert Reed here with you from Sheffield Productions. We are part of the Golden Triangle Replay.com group, and we encourage you to, after you finish looking at this live stream or watching the DVD, to go to gtreplay.com. It's all one word, and and take a look at the games from our 2016 inaugural season. In 2017, we haven't picked the 6 games yet, but I tell you what, they're going to be just as exciting. High school football at its best, Southeast Texas, Golden Triangle replay.
And a lot of fun here tonight. Been a lot of fun watching high school football again.
From the pistol, Barbay fakes the handoff, rolls, throws it short. Cornerback comes up and makes a shoestring tackle of Camden Robertson from Westbrook. Ends up gaining 1 yard. All of that for a yard. But if a shoestring tackle doesn't work, it would have been for 10.
Yeah, Barbay does a good job on the rollout and getting the ball out. That's for sure. Again, I like the touch that he has on the ball.
Put it right on the fingertips, didn't he?
Right, and you know, he's had a good run down inside the red zone that set him up for a score. Done a good job when he's leading their offense this evening.
Pitch goes out to Deshaun Moreau.
Gets around that corner fast.
Yes, he does. From Beaumont Central, all-district running back in 22-5A. This is we're just showing a bit of the previous play there, showing Barbay's touch. That running play brings up 4th down and 5 yards to go. Is that 4th down? I thought it was just 3rd.
Yeah, it looks like 4th. Hey, the replay again shows you the speed that number 12, Sean Moreau, has from Central. Got a timeout on the field. It'll be the East. Coach Foreman bringing them over.
4th down and 4 yards to go. Again, with the East trying to maintain possession. Every second that they bleed off of that clock helps maintain their 3-touchdown lead. Well, you know, some of the things we were talking about, Toby Foreman coaching tonight, that'll be his last game here at the Thomas Center.
Yes, it will.
Because he's moving on to other digs. Beaumont's got a couple of new coaches.
Yes, they do. Jeff Nelson is the new head coach over at Central. And then Coach Peavy, Chris Peavy, is the new head coach at Westbrook High School. Kevin Flanagan, I believe, has gone over to Tomball. I know that Toby's going to the 6A, one of the 6A schools in Killeen. And, of course, he's looking forward to that challenge. Toby has done a good job at Central High School in his time here. Took a program that was down a little bit, and basically they won consistently while he was their head coach.
4th down now, Barbay. Empty backfield. Quad receivers to the right,
Yes.
one to the left. He looks to the right, throws it out there. Caught by Moreau. He gets the 1st down, breaking down the sideline, steps out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Pass out from Barbay to Moreau.
Yeah, Moreau is shifting. Looks like that ball was thrown behind him, so this may have been a lateral. Yes, it was a lateral.
He kind of popped it up in front of him there.
Yeah, he still had it, but so this goes down as yards rushing for him rather than a reception. But he got we're at 1st down.
Barbay from the shotgun. Makes the handoff and keeps it himself.
Check
He's
him
off.
out.
Look at the speed of Barbay. Trying touchdown.
Yes.
His knee did not hit before the ball did.
Barbay is impressive.
Wow. Barbay scores from 24 yards out with a burst of speed.
Absolutely. Yeah, Barbay may want to try to walk on somewhere. I don't know what his plans are, but you know, football is in their blood. That Barbay family comes to him naturally.
36-7, the East increases its lead. And Barbay's being sent back into run or pass. There's no kicking here in Toby's playbook.
No, sir. 36-7, yeah, Barbay passing, running, pretty effective. And they got the 2-point conversion.
Joel Denley, number 29
Yes,
for
sir.
Brooke, his 2nd point after attempt to run.
Now, we have an MVP for this game, don't we, Charlie? I mean, you know, overall, I believe they select an MVP. And Barbay is definitely going to be under consideration.
Sponsoring the third annual All-Star Football Classic.
It's thrown for 1 touchdown, run for 1.
Yes.
And had a threw for a point after attempt, point after as well, point after pass.
Yes.
Matthews catching both of those scoring tosses from Barbay.
Right.
Oh, wow, but you also have those. I mean, you could also give it to the entire East defense if you wanted to spread
Yes, you could.
You know.
I'll tell you another one is Jalen Matthews from West Orange Stark. You had just mentioned the point after attempts that he's caught, but he's also been he's been a force on defense as well.
International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 479. Part of the sponsors, one of the sponsors of this broadcast. They are longtime sponsors of the efforts of Sheffield Productions. We appreciate the brothers in helping us. A lot of electricians in Sheffield's crew. And also the work that they do here in all of Southeast Texas. The brothers celebrated their 100th anniversary just a couple of years ago, and they had a nice article in the paper about all the things that they have done since they organized, not only building the neighborhoods, but wiring the industry that makes Southeast Texas so important to the world economy. Lindofer's kick taken at the 19-yard line. That's
And
number 12.
Yes, sir.
Or 13, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we want to see number 12. But yeah, that's Dwayne Smith, Cleveland Indians, Cleveland High School. On that, yeah, clearly there's that nice number 13. I like those large block letters.
Yes.
Football jersey.
Easy to read there, guys. We appreciate that. Believe me, there are some high school jersey palettes that apparently were put together by the art class because pastels look great in watercolor, but
not up here.
On a football field, when you're in the stands and you're proud dad or proud mom trying to pick it out, and it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, I think the worst is like when you have a white jersey and wear either silver numbers or gold numbers, kind of the vintage Oakland Raider uniform.
Yes, indeed.
But you can't see the numbers of that.
Bronkhorst again, a quarterback.
Alex Brown
on the carry for the West.
Talk about an MVP candidate for his team right there. Brown has done it all on kickoff returns, defensively, offensively, getting 7 yards there on first down.
I'm going to guess and think that at this point he's got to have at least 70 to 80 yards rushing, and that's probably conservative thinking that. Against
an all-star defense.
Yes.
Sprinkled with West Orange Stark Mustangs. That says a lot.
They've been huge. This goes to show you the talent that they have in Orange, Texas.
And why they are back-to-back state champions.
Why they will be competitive again this season, too, by the way.
Delay of game called against the West here. That'll take them back 5 yards. 9:55 left in the game. The start of the 2017 football season for GT Replay.
Yes, here we are.
We're going to have a lot of fun picking the 6 games for the 2017 season. I mean, you've got Monty Barrow, first-year head coach down in Needleland, taking over from Larry Newman. What type of program will he have? And, of course, look at Port Neches Groves, look at Port Arthur Memorial. Bronkhorst rolls to his right and is tackled for a 2-yard loss.
Well, you know, as we think about next season, a couple of players come to mind that are going to be top-flight players. Rashawn Johnson, the quarterback at Port Neches Groves.
He'll be a junior.
Which, yes, he'll be a junior. And from what I've been told, you know, supposedly there's already been a verbal commitment for him to go to University of Texas. And then here's a running back we saw last year who was a huge spark plug for the Memorial Titans, and that's Elijah Hines. If you recall,
you talk about sheer speed, I tell you.
Well, now and power too.
Yep.
And this is not a very big kid, but man, he is a force. So, a lot to look forward to. Oh my, oh my!
A little bit of a mix-up in the backfield that time, and Bronkhorst is tackled back at the 20-yard line.
23. That's Chris McGee from Orangefield, and I remember watching him play in that LCM game that we covered last year. He was active in that game, and check him out.
Jonathan Morales from C.E. King to do the honors.
C.E. King.
Oh, that's a good one.
Think about trying to kick somewhere.
Didn't corral it yet. It's still rolling. Finally downed inside the 30-yard line. Excellent punt there from Morales. First down and 10 for the East, but they have a 38-7 lead with 8:20 left. Helped there in the third quarter by a couple of defensive touchdowns, a 78-yard fumble return by Teron Brown and an 84-yard return. 89 rather, I'm sorry, from Martin Brown.
You know, we talk about the talent that's on the field and the schools that these kids come from. And I'm looking at these offensive linemen for the East. And, like, for example, we've got number 68, Josh Connor. Josh Connor is from little bitty Evadale High School. But you look at him out on that field, you can see that Josh Connor can play for anybody. Doing a good job on the offensive line. And let me give some airtime to some more offensive linemen because we were talking before the game, Charlie, it's kind of hard for us sometimes focus in on these numbers because we didn't really have a whole lot of information on the players coming into the game. But here's another one, 61, Kashawn Compton from Central High School. And again, obviously, the offensive linemen have done a very good job. I also see 74, Dakota Ard from Silsby High. All of these guys have had big impact.
Chris Boudreaux in at quarterback now for the East. Beaumont Central on his hit in the backfield there is number 35, DeCorian Holmes from Jasper, but he ends up almost getting back to the line of scrimmage. He was hit 4 yards deep, but it was not a knockdown.
No, it wasn't, but they still strung him out for a loss on the play. And again, the person that penetrated and made the initial contact that you see right there, once again, that was number 51, Bobby Burke from Shepherd High School. And then coming in at the end of that play to secure it was number 7. Here's another small school, Tyler Sneed in West Hardin. And, I wanted to tell you, we said we were going to talk about some things on the side. No state in the country does small high school football like the state of Texas.
Yes,
we talked about Evadale High. We talked about West Hardin. We talked about High Island. I mean, it just doesn't happen anywhere else, And here they are. They're on the field.
Oh, yeah.
And they're competing with 6A players, 5A players. And, I mean, they're competing. They're good, So kind of reminds you, Colt McCoy, if I recall, played 6-man football.
That's right. Went to the University of Texas and almost won a national championship.
Right, and started as a freshman on top of all of that.
Now going on the field for the East, number 24, Braden Miller from Sabine Pass. You can see Braden Miller right there, number 24. In small school football, Sabine Pass for a while did not have a team.
No, they did not.
And they brought it back, kind of like Lamar University didn't have a team for a generation just about.
And let me add a plug for Sabine Pass. You should see their facilities.
Oh, it's top-notch down there.
It's top since the hurricane. It is top-notch.
Boudreaux.
Oh.
That was a dangerous pass to Taden Esprit from Beaumont Legacy.
Yes, you are correct.
That could have been picked off very easily, but they played the ball. They played the man and not the ball. You can see the pass here. Too much penetration there. And Caden Hendricks from Barbers Hill was right in Esprit's face.
And again, talking about small schools, Legacy, small private school. That's Troy Esprit's son, Taden, a heck of an athlete. Could play anywhere.
Punt formation. That's a knuckleballer. Look at that thing roll.
Well, let me tell you what that was. We were talking about like the pooch kicks earlier.
Oh, yeah.
But now when punting, they're doing the rugby-style punting, and that was a rugby-style punt. And it is a knuckleball style. And you see that on every level. You see it on the NFL. You see it in college football, now in high school.
Jacob Cordova from Goose Creek Memorial corralled that ball at the 34. 6:29 left in the game, and our camera right there is picking up the empty stands on the visitor side, and you'd mentioned that the teams did flip at halftime, flip sidelines, switch sidelines, because we're Texans. That's the sunny side of the stadium, and when the sun was up, everybody was over here in the shade.
Yeah, and this stadium holds, to show you what I know about it, it holds 10,666 fans. The home side is a little bit larger, and the second deck holds more than the lower deck, and where we're at, we can't see the lower deck.
Pitts is able to get the ball handed off to Deion Mays. Tackled in the backfield. 7-yard loss there. And the happiest guy on the team was Ryan Lelou from Needle. The team most valuable player, I believe, is going to come up here and make the tackle. You can see Lelou work off the block, hold on to him, and bring him down.
And helping out Lelou, the very active Jalen Matthews from West Orange Star. By the way, I was talking to you about how we can't see the lower deck, and it's no doubt there are a lot of fans sitting down there. There's good attendance at this game. Again, it's not packed, it's not sold out, but it's very good attendance regardless. What a play. What a play.
Great defense again.
That's your man, 23, Chris McGee from Orangefield, the Bobcats. Chris had a good season with Orangefield. He's having a good game here. Small player, active player. And again, there's Orangefield. There's small school, 4A, a small 4A. But Chris McGee could play for anybody.
Third down, and you figure it out. 22 yards to go for the West. He breaks into the secondary. A fine run there. Gets across the 35-yard line to about the 39.
I believe that's 22 Deion Mays, who is from Anahuac. And we haven't seen too much of him, but man, he's shifty. Check him out. He's just blowing through people.
He's able to change direction, do that little water bug move where, you just change the angle a little bit and the defender doesn't know where the target is.
Right.
4th down, 7 to go. West is going for it.
Fumble the snap.
So the ball's going to go over to the east regardless. Clock stops at 4:26 left in the game. East 38, West 7. Close game at halftime, 7-7, but it looks like the East is going to even up the series. In 2010, the first game of the Southeast Texas Coaches Association All-Star Football, West won by 14-10. In 2011, the East won 20-13, couple of close games. 2012, the West won 14-13, and then 2013, the West won 22-14. So you got 3 West and 1 East. Then the East won the next 2, 2014, 21-7, 2015, a shutout, 20-0. Last year, the West evened it up 21-16. So I tell you what, this is a great series. It's going to be evened up between the 2 schools after 8 games. 2 schools, 2 sides there. Rolling out to the right.
Boudreaux.
Almost intercepted. Boudreaux rolling to his right. Diving for it was Tyler Sneed of West Harton. Ball hits the ground just before it gets to Sneed.
Well, I don't really think they're too focused on the score because the coaches are letting the kids have fun. I mean, Toby's still throwing the ball, but it's not about putting anything in anyone's face or rubbing it in. It's just having fun. I mean, again, probably the most constant theme. These kids, many of them are playing for the last time.
An athlete loves competition.
Right. On both sides of the ball. Legal procedure.
That's the first one we've seen.
Yeah, well, the referees, let them get their warm-ups in. It's on for the referees in 8 weeks.
There's been a lot of lateral motion, moving sideways before the start of the snap, which is allowed. There's a lot of lateral motion. There's a lot of back motion, especially when the West came out in their double wing. You can take that wing guy and run him back toward the fullback, get a running start. You always want that extra step, that extra half second of motion that the defense doesn't have time to react to.
Yes.
But
right.
you can't move toward the ball. This isn't Canadian football. That's next month, right? Isn't that what you said?
No. Try in about a week or two.
Oh, you keep up with that, I see.
Oh, I love football, man. You know, I'm like, when's that first game coming on ESPN, Canadian football? I'll tell my sons, hey, man, get in here. Let's watch football.
2nd and 10 for
And it's a
the
very
Ball
competitive
State
league.
At the 36-yard line.
From the shotgun, Boudreaux hands off the ball to number 32, Landon McBride. Gets close to the 30-yard line. 5-yard gain.
Ty Dennis on the carry for
That's
the
Ty Dennis, 32. Ty Dennis, Kirbyville.
I'm looking at the wrong sheet. My apologies.
No, you're good.
Brandon Mullen.
We got a
on the
lot to
tackle
take
for
in
the
here.
I got to get into my season form. That's my preseason mistake, Coach. I just jumped offside.
Well, you know, it's too bad we can't go broadcast from 7-on-7, which is going on this month as well.
Deshaun Moreau
Yes, sir.
dives forward. Did he get the
Sean
first?
Moreau on the carry
Yeah,
for the East.
his presence has been felt. Deshaun Monroe from Central taking the ball from his teammate, Chris Boudreaux.
And Bobby Burke.
They may,
on
well,
the stop
looks
for
like a
the
first down to me. It's inside the marker. But the referees are going to slow things down, give us one last chance
for the East.
to acknowledge the Christus All-Star Classic, the 3rd annual put on by Christus Hospital. It is a first down. They're going to move it in association with the Southeast Texas Coaches Association. I'm Charlie Jellin along with Robert Reed. We're here from Sheffield Productions and Golden Triangle Replay. Hope you have enjoyed this game. Got a couple of minutes left to it. East just crunching forward, moving the pile.
Carry for the East.
And Coach Toby Foreman is
Stopped by Joshua
shuffling a
Furman
lot of
of
players
the
in and out, because Coach Foreman wants to make sure that everybody gets their
for the East.
last chance to strap it on the field turf here at the Thomas Center.
Ty Dennis with that last carry. He opened the scoring in the big 3rd quarter for the East with a 12-yard run before 2 defensive touchdowns blew the game open.
That is our young man from Orangefield, Chris McGee.
Run out of a T formation a lot in his life.
Yes, he did, and he was pretty good at it also.
They start that at flag level.
Yes, yeah, they do.
When the Orangefield Bobcats first pick up a football, they get into the T formation. That's just the way they are, and they run it from age 6 all the way up.
And I saw their coach, Josh Smalley, before the game, and believe me, he will have his Bobcats ready to go. I know he is looking forward to practice. Like I said, coming up in about 6 to 7 weeks.
1:40.
Now that was stuffed. All right, we're coming up. Is this going to be 3rd or 4th down, Charlie?
Should be 4th down. They took Lou was trying to get some motion there. The Needle and Bulldog tackled at the 20-yard line. 4th down and 4 yards to go.
Yes, sir.
Clock is running. We're at 1:15 now. As the orange moon rises over Beaumont, just to the east of the Thomas Center.
It is really a cool-looking sight.
Boudreaux keeps it. Has a defender right in his face. Pass is caught. Fantastic catch.
Guess who that is?
Mr. Jalen Matthews.
From the West Orange Star Mustangs. Playmaker.
Fantastic catch there. He had the defender on his back, and he kept the defender there, keeping himself between the ball and the defender. Good throw by Boudreaux. Got to give him credit there.
I think Jalen Matthews may have to go down as, I think, the player that had the most impact on the field, both sides of the ball. I would be surprised if he's not playing for somebody during the month of August.
57 seconds now. That play being out of bounds. Boudreaux takes the ball. He's just going to kneel it. We're going to go ahead and just run out the clock on this third annual
50 seconds.
They're going to
Christus
go one more
All-Star
time.
Classic. Going to do it one more time.
One more time. Lots of fun, Charlie. I enjoyed doing this game with you, sir.
We're getting into it, and I loved your halftime interview with your favorite doctor.
He's a good guy, that's for sure. There are a lot of good guys, Dr. Thorpe, and I mean, I'm definitely going to miss out on some, but Dr. Sean Figueri took care of the knees of my lovely bride at the house. Both of them did a good job with her.
Our thanks to Christus for sponsoring the third annual All-Star Classic and making the free DVDs available to the players, and that's going to be the ball game. As the crowd's counting down, the East wins 38-7. The series is now tied at 4 apiece. Next year, hopefully, the 4th annual Christus All-Star Classic Week with all-star games in volleyball, softball, girls basketball, boys basketball, and football. The Southeast Texas Coaches Association thanks you for watching and supporting this group. For Sheffield Productions, Golden Triangle Replay, and Robert Reed, I'm Charlie Jellin. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you next time.
Just a reminder, folks, to please stay tuned for just a few